We're joined now here in studio by Gili Dolev, creator and co-director of the Mama Bear movie. We have just watched. Gili, thank you so very much for coming. It's not the first time I'm watching it, and yet every time it hits again, I think that many of us felt like Roberto Benigni in Life is Beautiful, trying to mask the horror with some childish tenderness. And here, it's the exact opposite. It's this pure moment of a mother tucking her baby in bed. How did it all come to be?
So, I think first of all, just hearing the previous two guests talking is just like so powerful. And I think if there's a glimmer of hope in all this, is like how people come together and the great sense of community. And this all, Mama Bear happened because of a lot of great people, great artists, like TV execs, felt the need to do something and to give voice to those who don't have a voice at the moment. And especially the kids held in Gaza and the rest of the hostages. A good friend and a colleague of mine, Ila Pachter, who was still is accompanying one of the families who have kids held in Gaza. She felt with a very sort of strong instincts that animation will be able to deliver a message in a way that will be different and in a way that will be heard maybe above the general noise. And so she mentioned the idea to me, and I think we brainstormed it for 15 minutes, which is shorter than anything I think I've ever done before. And then we involved Shirley Oran, who's a senior TV exec in this business, and we thought about it a little bit more. And then I just pretty much approached a lot of my friends who are also artists and animators who usually work on, preschool shows. My background is directing and creating preschool shows. I recently directed Cocomelon. This could not be more different to something like that. And Peel Animation, which is a great Israeli studio of Ofer and Sharon Gazit, came aboard and contributed all the time and efforts and people who work in the studio, along with animators from all over the world.
Yeah, all recruited. We've seen this across the board in all sectors of Israeli society, from all fields and all endeavors. Gili, why bears and not humans?
That's a really, it's a great question. We started off, when I first thought about it, I thought about a mother and a son with wolves coming into the house.
Yeah.
This whole idea of a fairy tale gone very wrong, like, the Grimm brothers and, with the wolves. And then when I was talking to Lior, who's a storyboard artist, about the idea, he said, maybe they should all be animals. And I thought that was a great idea. And I felt like bears and the idea of a mama bear protecting her cub resonates in a way that we all understand.
So to an extent, to make the story even more human, you had to make it non-human.
You phrased it in a much better way than I've ever sort of articulated it. It's exactly that. I think when animation as a medium is great for, for doing something with a little disguise that you don't expect, and then kind of like going, for like the soft spot. And I think it catches you off guard. And I think that's what happens. You don't expect it. It starts with Shira Haas's sort of like very gentle voice.
Yeah.
And you think you are kind of in for like this kind of fairy tale, and very quickly it goes
and also the visual language here is like a classic children book, and then it hits.
So, and that was exactly the purpose. And Asher Simonhuis, who is the art director and the designer who designed this, we talked very early on about the idea of creating a picture book. And because those picture book visuals that, every parent kind of reads to their kids before they go to bed, And now those kids are in Gaza, they don't have that. And it's something that just like, again, we all understand and it resonates and it's cross-cultural as well. So people in Israel, people abroad, they should all understand it on a basic human level.
Yeah, so we do want to take a quick look into your next project, Taken. Gili, tell us about this, not less shocking.
So the idea here is trying to give a very specific voice to the hostages in Gaza by taking their individual videos and from, again, everyday sort of activity. Those are real home videos of the hostages and having a moment where they're literally gone. So the aim is to create one for every hostage held in Gaza. And we're working with Ilanit Cherv-Vygotsky, and who's helping make contact with all the families because we get the consent of everyone, and Shirley Oran. Avi Balili is doing the music. And the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is already on board to help distribute it.
Well, we do hope that they will use it in all their platforms. Of course, what feedbacks are you getting so far?
So on Mama Bear, it certainly hit a nerve. I think it touched a lot of people in Israel and more importantly, in a way, because it's important to touch people here, but we're all in the same camp. I think there's such a wave of anti-Semitism at the moment around the world that all we can do is trying to get people to understand the scale of the horrors that happened here.
Yeah.
And we're dealing with people exactly like them. It could be the brother, the child, the sister, mother, father, grandparents. Exactly. So that's the only thing we can do. We just hope that their voice is heard and are brought back home as soon as possible.
Gili Dolev, I do hope that very soon you will go back to your ordinary job of making kids happy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming here. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.